Nancy Au's short stories and flash fiction have appeared or are forthcoming in the Journal of Compressed Creative Arts, Necessary Fiction, Fiction Southeast, Word Riot, Identity Theory, Prick of the Spindle, and elsewhere. She has a degree in anthropology from UC Berkeley and is completing her MFA here at SFSU, where she also teaches creative writing. She is co-founder of the Escapery, an SF Bay Area writing unschool. You can find them at escapery.org. Please welcome Nancy Au.
I'm going to spit this out. I want to ask where it from. Thank you, Linda, for bringing 302, 301. Oh, and 301, Carson Becker, who I talk about all the time and read. Her essays is right there, hiding behind her All right, you're my teacher. So I'd like to start with a short piece called Ladybug Apocalypse. Ladybugs at the end of the long wooded trail. Thousands of unmoving red and black dots clustered. Deep red corn kernels swarmed on the tips of twigs, splintered crevices and dead logs, flat tops of trail signs. In dead winter, they are searching for sun, warmth, sharing the tiniest spaces without thought of property lines, border lines. Just sun streaks, glowing patches, sunrise pink mist, and burnt orange sunset. Are they all dead? I ask Mother. No, she responds. Just resting. Bugs do that. Overwintering. I'd read that waiting for beauty and light is the same as waiting to be saved. I like tiny statements like these, left hanging in the room. Low clouds threatening rain, some dry and full of air. The ladybug thousands is nauseating, fills me with wet dread. Mother taught me the word for this, trypophobia. She is the same way. She says, give me blindness, baldness, bankruptcy, just don't give me clustered holes, fruits and bubbles, woodpecker holes with an acorn stash center, lotus seed heads, split pomegranates, honeycombs, bunches and bumps. Mother grabs me by the armpits, lifts me like being caught by the wind out of rain, first wet, then dry. For a few seconds, I am seaworthy, floating in a pocket of quiet high above the squirming ladybugs. I laugh until I am in tears. Mother lowers me. I stand with face covered. I tell her that I am forgetting Father, that I don't want to forget, that my memories of him are turning to liquid, small blue, see-through like water. She shakes her head, pats my hair, tells me that Father is greater than memories, that he is fantasy, makes people glow fly. I stare at the faded ink dot on the back of her hand. I remind her of how I had found her, like a goldfish, caught, yanked out of water, out of splashes, bone dry. I remind her of the view from the bath rug floor. A white, wet towel rolled beneath the sink. All that gray, wet hair. Green mildew and yellow stains. Cracked grout, chipped tile. I lost a single razor blade, rusted and broken. Mother becomes a moaning cavern, dank and dark, face dripping with memories. We return to our blue car. Mother sips the steaming burnt bean water from a green thermos. I chew on a honey-sweet oatmeal cookie, study a small, colorful handbill jammed under the windshield wiper, a photo of a man and woman in red helmets careening across a canyon. We should zip line, I say. No way. Mother shakes her head, smiles sneakily. I like living too much. I laugh, say to her what Father had said to her many times. You're a hoot. Why are we here? Mother asks. I don't want to forget. Forget what? Everything. Her hand grips mine at the edge of the seat. The soft fabric is blue. Together we are blue. At the far end of the parking lot, there's a burnt, hollowed oak tree trunk. I picture 4 a.m., time of deepest darkness, living inside of that tree. I do not know what will become of the ladybugs. I dream awake. I imagine a life where Mother has never lifted me, never shown me the ladybug apocalypse, never guided me to the tops of ridges, down muddy ravines. I imagine life without Mother's aching. I imagine life without Father, not having memories of him to forget. I imagine that Mother had never shown me any of the darkest cubby holes in her life, a fear that we have always shared. To shift gears, all you 301, 302ers know this sound. New story, second story. Second story, Ephemeroptera. Below the winding river road, there are naked sunbathers clinging to naked milk-sucking babies, spotless rainbow of towels, neat corners, not a speck of sand because nudists are worried about getting grit out of all their sensitive cracks and crevices. There are women's swollen breasts, their sun-oiled babies, the river's vintage waves, its hollow curves. In Northern California's wine country, we follow the hazy swarm of mayflies across a short red bridge. A buzzing gold cloud surrounds our car, slicking the road as we tread a rubber groove into their bodies. We park off the road by barbed wire and angry red bullet hole signs. In the car, I sweat metal heat, watch mayflies try to break through glass. I scratch bloody mosquito bites on my ankles, and although I am not alone, I think about being a woman alone in the woods by a river. I think about rape, evictions from private property, gridlock traffic, standstills, my knotted black hair. On our epic dragon hunting journey, dragonflies and land dragons and Gilgamesh, and please hold this western fence lizard and don't squeeze so hard. My husband hops the fence and jumps down the banks to the river's edge in search of mayflies, dragonflies, damselflies, just insects on his mind, pupae, slippery rocks. I ask loudly of my husband, the insect scientist, for statistics and facts. What if the whole world farted at once? He thinks carefully about this, shrugs straight his backpack stuffed with tiny glass vials and tweezers and bottles of ethanol, wipes his neck with his palm. After a few moments says, if we all face in the same direction, we can change the Earth's rotation. I wander uphill, up bank, away from the green reeds that itch my bites. I mouth the Chinese word for dragon, an onomatopoeia, sound of thunder. I picture warm electric thunderstorms, soggy summer clouds. My eyes graze the blue-green bunch grasses, red-barked shrubs. I wave down at my husband from my perch on the river road shoulder, point at my wrist as big as I can, shout, 10 minutes! Longer than the lifetime of a mayfly once in flight. I try to estimate the number of insects my husband will find, his hands plunging into the frigid water as he turns over wet rocks. Scientists say that social caring is sex with needs. I try to imagine a 10-minute lifetime, all you have to learn to care. Down the road, a sign for a winery. Blue heron tasting today. In the gift shop, I buy a $2 artist pencil. The shopkeeper looks like a grandmother. White hair and bun, cool gray eyes, knitting a baby hat. She promises no smudges, a near perfect tool. When she adds tax to the $2, she borrows my new pencil and sketches longhand multiplication on the back of a gas station receipt. A photo in a frame on the counter. The shopkeeper gripping a duck by its neck in one hand, a rifle in the other. I ask her, "Do you watch the bird tumble from the sky? What is it like to hunt?" Deep in numbers, she mutters, "Thrash, thrush, duck." I ask her, "What would it be like to live your entire life, literally, like blue heron tasting?" Her laughter, the sound of gravel under tires. She takes my 5, shuffles through a wooden box for change, asks, "Where are you from?" "Oakland," I say. "No," she hands me back coins and wrinkled dollar bills. "Where are you really from? Where are your mommy and daddy from?" The shopkeeper places my pencil in a small paper bag with the winery's wine label affixed to the front. She returns to her knitting without waiting for my answer. Out the shop's window, a flowering pink azalea bush and bags of trash I had not noticed before. My eyes quickly search, as they always do on quiet roads like this, for the shape of a body inside the black stretched plastic. I've never seen murder leftovers before, but once when grandmother was drunk, she showed me her secret photos hidden under her bed of China's Cultural Revolution, a man shot in the head, frozen red mist. In the picture, not dead yet, just almost, eyes squeezed shut. Dungeons and Dragons and my grandmother will tell you that a silver dragon is good and breathes cold. Outside the shop, I pause before crossing, watch my husband ascend the sandy, steep riverbank towards the car, brush cobwebs out of his hair. He reaches our car, flings open all the doors, allowing it to cool, evil to good. One hand shields the sun from his eyes as he looks up and down the empty road, then towards the gift shop. He waves, holds a glass bullet up to the light. From his smile, I know that floating inside the ethanol is a stonefly exoskeleton. Imagine a tiny empty cricket, marbled brown and white, 2 tails, 2 antennae, 6 muscular legs, claws. They cannot travel far from home, a signifier of pure, clean water. I head back across the empty road and glimpse the "Do Not Trespass" sign. I think about all the hall passes my husband's been granted in life. Walks at night alone, free from fear. Questions answered seriously by the mechanic, by the doctor. I think about famous revolutionary painters. Would I let an old man watch me dance ballet for hours, painting me as I stretch, legs opened? Who gave Degas his hall pass? Why do we keep giving hall passes to the same people over and over again? How do you prove that your grandparents' and parents' life here are more than just visiting fleeting Ephemeroptera? What can I say that will show what it means to live Chinese American, first generation, first daughter? Legs dangling, seated on the lip of a hyphen, like living at the edge of a storm. Always waiting and waiting. Back at the car, my husband brushes the sweat off my upper lip with his finger, cups my chin in his hand. Warm ice cream cone. How do you show love without words? On the back of the tissue box, I list the times I had seen my grandmother cry. She was hungover and found a dead possum on her porch. She read an article about a woman with aphasia who could only say yes and no, who could no longer read or write. She read that this woman used to be an engineer, a talented artist, and musician. She learned that cats are used as bait for fighting pit bulls. She thought she'd lost her secret picture of the man being shot in the head after leaving it on top of the microwave. She remembered the woman with aphasia and wondered what she thought about movies she watched. She watched a home movie of my childhood dogs, brown Labradors, named Jack and Jill. For 8 years until the day he died, Jack accompanied me, I was then just 9 years old, up the stairs to bed. The first night after Jack died, I waited at the bottom of the stairs, my parents and grandparents watching, waiting, not knowing what to do. It was Jill, younger than Jack by just 1 year, who got up from her warm spot by the front door, nudged me with her wet nose, placed one arthritic paw on the lowest step, sharing the love Jack had left behind.
Aw.